All right, good morning, everyone. Here from the ranch, my two-bit ranch. Okay, so today is Saturday, August 3rd. It is 80 degrees and we have cloudiness in the skies. And when I woke up this morning at daylight and came outside, there was a shower. It showered on me. And I was a bit surprised and taken aback by that. But it was pretty nice, I have to be honest. All right, so here we are in the garden, in the lower garden. Upper garden is beginning to play out. I was hoping that we did get to harvest 5 cantaloupe or four cantaloupe out of there this morning. And today we got us a cucumber. Hey, we have so these are cattle panels is what they call these, and we get them over there at Tractor Supply, and they're easy to put up. You just have to have a little backstop for them like we have there, and then over here, and we just stick one in then and pull them up around and put them down in there, and they're done. And this baby is heavy right now. I mean, look at it, really rocking slow. So she's got some weight on her. The bees are busy this morning. We see bees everywhere, bees. We have these cucumbers are finally starting to produce. We have a few, and what's really cool is being able to get underneath here and pick the cucumbers. These are Garden Sweet. Everybody names them everything they seed they sell Garden Sweet. Anyways, and then here we are with the Armenian cucumbers, which are really a melon. So we want that to hang. And then this guy, we're gonna tuck him back up in there. He needs to go up. Anyway, so we got potatoes planted in here, and we haven't seen any come up quite yet. We have one that came up that was been there for a while. So we have tomatoes over here, and I cleaned them up. So by cleaning up, I cut a lot of the extra growth is what I call it. It's really not necessary. You want your growth to go into the tomatoes and not the leaves. And you have leaves that are curling up and not looking so good. Those guys right there probably aren't doing much for the plant other than providing a little shade for the stem. Those will probably get trimmed off next week. And so what we're looking for is growth, growth like this right here that comes out. Now this growth right here, it will produce, but it will not produce like the main stem. So that's got to go. So we're going to trim this off right here like that, and they will produce tomatoes, but not like your main growth will produce. So we're not wanting those. We don't want those there. And then you see these oops, cut the wire. Anyhow, we'll pick those up here when I got. So we have these guys that are, not looking good. They got something, either they have a disease or they're done providing their shade. And then looky here, we have one down here which produced many others, and we don't want that to grow up there like that. So we're gonna grab hold of it and get it into the pile. See, they will produce, but we're not looking for that kind of production. We want the production come off the main stem. That's where you're going to have your best production. That's where you're going to get your bigger tomatoes. And I believe if you cut those sucker growth off of there, the plants will be much better off. You'll get bigger tomatoes. And so I'm a believer in it. I started doing it last year, and I am a huge believer in cutting the sucker growth off. And I'm not sure exactly what we have right here, if this is a sucker growth right there, this one, because I don't see there's no leaf. It's not coming out of a position of a leaf, so I'm wondering if it is a sucker. This one right here, it's not, there's no leaf, but there's a leaf on this side, so I'll probably just leave those. I think the plant is going to be much better off. There are some here that are outgrowing the main stems, and I'm not sure if I want those or not. We do have some big they are producing tomatoes, so, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if I want that growth there, and I'll have to decide that, but that's not something that I'm looking to do right now. So here's another, this is a different kind of tomato. That was a beefsteak, and I think this is a clean it off so I can see it. I do, it's a Cherokee purple. See if I can get my camera, yeah, if you can see that. Anyways, because I have to put those on there because I forget what they are, you know? So here's a sucker, right? Is that, yeah, that's a sucker right there. We're gonna take that off. I should have been out here days ago. See, they'll put on tomatoes, but I think it robs your main stem. And this plant right here is not looking good. There's something wrong here. So I'm gonna take some of these off here. Look at the growth we have. We definitely want to leave all those that are producing. This guy's not doing nothing. And yeah, they probably have something. I probably need to spray them with some NutriCrop and mixed in with some tomato fertilizer. Yeah, the name escapes me right now. So this one's not a sucker. See, this guy right here is not doing so good. There's something wrong with him. So we're gonna open him up a little bit so we can see a little bit better what's going on here. Shade leaves are not real big. This guy right here is kind of a, this is a Roma. It's a Roma tomato, and it's got, well, I heard something hissing out there. I don't know. Better look a little closer. Rattlesnakes. I heard something. My ears aren't as good as they used to be. Sounds like it's coming from my neighbor's place down there. I don't know. Okay, so we need to get in here and clean this plant up a little bit. Yeah, he's a Roma, but you still have to get in there and clean them up. And potatoes got left behind are growing. We're just gonna leave them alone. So we're gonna clean some of these leaves that aren't doing anything for this plant here. See, we'll just throw them over there and let them go to compost. Yeah. So yeah, we got some ripe ones hiding. So if you don't trim these limbs out like that, you'll end up where you can't see anything that's going on anywhere. So we'll reach back in there and get that guy out of there. Here's one right here that's not looking so good. I tied some strings to keep them up off the ground the other here a while back when they were young plants. Seems to be working. Let's see, what do we got here? All right. So I can't find the end of it. I think it's right here. Let's see. Where did he go? There he is. We got him out of there. Have we got anything else? Yeah, sometimes it takes two hands. But the Romas are doing really well. I don't know what this guy right here is, to be honest with you. We're gonna cut that lower limb off, and there's collards. Or that could be, I forget now. My brain is not functioning very well this morning. Yeah, it's either collards. It's a brassica is what it is for sure. It's probably time. You know, it is time to get my brassicas planted. My August planting for fall. This guy right here, I see that great big old sucker right there. I'm gonna go around the other side, and there's Mr. Pete over there foraging in the compost pile. That's where he likes to go when he comes out here with me, is to the compost pile. Yeah, we got some sucker growth and things going here we can certainly get rid of. I'm gonna get rid of this big guy. See, it's got blossoms on it, but I'm not into that kind of growth. I'm looking for, see, here's the main stem. That was a sucker growth right there. So, and then we need to get rid of this leaf right here because he's not looking so hot. I don't think he's doing much of anything but pulling from the plant. We're going to get all these off of here that are diseased. Look, there's another sucker growth. We're going to get rid of that one. So just go along and trim them up. This is potato here. We're going to leave it. We're going to grow potatoes again. We got to plant our brassicas and our potatoes again. We're going to plant potatoes. Let's see what we have here. Goodness gracious, what do we got here? Look at that. Take that off of there. Here's another one right here. We're gonna get rid of that. Look at these guys. These guys are putting on tomatoes. Hopefully they haven't dropped off, so we have some that are set. I probably need to get some of that spray and give them a shot. They probably need a little NutriCrop. It's got that see, that one there, this one comes on, it's not a sucker, it's one of the main stems, and I'm gonna leave it. I want it to grow. I'm gonna cut this one out though, and the shade leaf that's with it, because they're not looking so good. So these guys that just come out of the side of the stem and there's no leaf with them, I leave them because they're producers. They're not. So looky here. We'll get that guy out of there. Oh, you go back up there. You belong up there. Sorry, folks. You belong up there. You stay there. Yeah. So we're gonna cut some more of these noxious looking shade leaves off, and that'll give me a better opportunity to spray the new growth and get that, because they've got something wrong with them. We're gonna really go to town on these right here because they're just overgrown. I can't see if there's insects in there living in there. I mean, a rattlesnake could make a nest in there and I'd never know it. Anyway, so we're gonna come over here, and so here's one right here that I'm gonna get rid of. That's a sucker, but it's still gonna make tomatoes. But we are going to thin this thing out so we can see. You know, if nothing else, we need to see what we're doing in there. You know, Anyway, so that's how that's gonna go. We'll pull these little things out. These are called, those are suckers also. But you notice these limbs coming off from the tomato plant on their own. They're big tomato producers. And this guy right here, cut that off. That was broken off somehow. And there's no leaf, so it's, I mean, they still could be suckers, but I'm gonna leave them for a bit. I know this one right here is definitely a sucker, so we're gonna get rid of that one for sure. So they're producing, you notice they are producing, so that's this guy right here, this one right here. So I'm not gonna bother him other than take off some of these shade leaves so that I can see what's going on in there. Things like that. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is another. So look at this one. This is another great big sucker we're gonna take off. And you notice it doesn't have very many blossoms on it, but it has a lot of it has a lot of does have some tomatoes on it. So I'm looking on up here to looking for more suckers and make sure that my main stem here is not a sucker. So it doesn't look like to me that that one that runs all the way up there is a sucker. So we'll leave it alone. Try to manage these plants the best we can. We do not want tons of growth. And see, this one is a sucker because you can tell I cut a leaf off of there and it started its growth. So even these guys right here, we're gonna look for suckers and get rid of them because we want that growth to go into our tomatoes and not into the greenery. Here's another one here. Well, them snips aren't working very good. Okay. And we're trying to get rid of some of the leaves, shade leaves, so that we can see what's going on inside this plant here. Yeah, this is a sucker. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one. This big old booger right here, coming off. We want, like I said, we want bigger tomatoes. We don't want all this growth. I know it has blossoms on it, but we want we're more interested in the health of the plant than letting these suckers take off. Okay, so there we are. We cleaned that one up pretty good. I think I'll leave the rest of those shade leaves on there. Here we are. I might have to go around the other side and take these guys off. Yeah, I don't like that one either, so if I can reach that, I can't reach it. So, oh look, there's a sucker I missed right there too. So, and I can't get in there to get it, so right there, I'll have to go around the other side. So we want to promote, what we want to promote is the main stem plant. We want to promote it. We don't want to promote, see, here's another sucker coming off right there. We're going to get rid of it. So we want it to growth to go into these tomatoes. We don't want the growth to go into this. If these leaves become, they start looking bad, then they aren't doing any good for the plant. And I know that one ain't. So we will just go around and see. When they get like that, they're just pulling a lot of, well, they are necessary now. You got to leave some of them. So, and I can't reach up there, so I won't be doing much about that stuff. I'll probably have to get my ladder to get those. Okay, so now on to the corn. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's got some extra, you know. I don't know. I'll have to check it here pretty soon. I don't know about these old little guys right here. They ain't looking so good. they still got good silks and they're putting on. I don't think I should mess around with these very much longer. I may have to pull those out and plant some brassicas in here this week. Okay, here we are off to the, yeah, I'm gonna have to make a date to pull them up. I don't think I'm getting anything here from those. I can plant my brassicas. We are gonna put some more fencing around this place. We have to. The deer are just hanging out. Right, they'll hang out on an area until they get all the foliage, and then they move on. And they are really ravaging our acorn squash. Now they aren't really eating too much of the beans, and they don't like getting in over here between these. Oh yeah, they do. They're getting in. They got there. They don't like getting in between stuff too much. That's too bad. Right? So they may have sampled this, but they didn't like it. That's my neighbor down there. Bear got into their chicken coop and got one of the chickens and ate it, one of the laying hens. And 3 nights ago, and Debbie texted me and said, "Hey, we have a bear." Anyways, I went to the hand doctor yesterday and he said my hands are fine. Mm-hmm. Very good. It's funny, these deer, they won't look at that one. We like to let these spears go. Right now, I mean, we've already harvested. Well, we're supposed to harvest. We harvested for 8 weeks. So we had a lot. You can still eat these tops because they're still going to produce food. They'll fern out. These will grow. And then they'll fern out. And that's what you want them to do. You want them to fern out. Because that'll give them food, the nodes, food for the, they call them nodes or crowns. I call them nodes. The nodes are still getting, it's going to produce more food. You'll have more nodes. You'll have, therefore you'll have more asparagus. There's my lima beans. I don't see no beans. Maybe they're like the peppers and they'll produce. They're having to rebuild their chicken coop down there. I hear them pounding on, drilling and cutting and stuff going on down there. Anyways, boy, look at the deer. Look at the deer have done. I'm going to trim this one off because he's looking pretty ugly if I can find him. Yeah, they're looking. Same here. I don't know what these are, but I'm not too worried about sun scald on these. And deer have eaten them right down to the nubbins. I'm interested to see. This is an experiment that we're just going to let the deer have their reign over these tomatoes right here. It looks like we're going to get a few tomatoes. Now these Romas, I think they're determinate. This is a Roma, I believe. Yeah. Oh no, that's one of those pear-shaped tomatoes. They're little yellow tomatoes. Those are really tasty. Those are good. I'll probably keep some of the seeds from these and plant some more. I forgot all about them from last year. So I need to start a garden journal, much as I hate to. There's more of those pear type. So we'll just let the deer see. They get woody when they get down to a point where they get woody. They don't eat them any further down. These plants, these are determinate tomatoes, I do believe. I think this one's some kind of cross. Anyways, these are all volunteers, so we just let them. And there's some more of that nightshade. You can eat that, but you don't eat the stems, the berries, the roots. You can eat the leaves. These guys are just taking off. I just can't get over how much they're producing. So you know, I can still pinch them off, and that little thing there. The bees are in here. Oh, that was bitter. I spit that one out. That one was bitter. There's poke salad. Poke salad, Annie. You know the song. I mean, as Joe Biden would say, you know the thing. You know the thing. That thing there, you know. You know the thing. Anyways, I would say poor Joe Biden, but I will not, because he's been in politics for 50 years and he is just as corrupt as they come. I was gonna say they all are, but they're not all corrupt. There's some good people up there trying to fix it. Anyway, so there's this one. I really don't want to have to fence this whole thing in. I mean, we are going to plant. What we're going to start planting is we're going to, in these exposed beds, we're going to, in September, whether or not these guys are done or not, they're coming out, we're going to plant. I mean, if they're not going to produce for us, and we need to get them out of there and get some garlic in these beds. Garlic and onions. I think we're going to plant garlic and onions together. I think they'll coexist okay. Anyways, so we're getting into the 30-minute mark on this one. We probably ought to shut her down. So I was going to show you guys what I did yesterday. I don't know if I showed you or not, but so here's what we do with these watermelons. Man, I'm going to fall over. My balance is off today. So I'll put another basket on that one. See, we got these riddle. You can get these online. I forget what they call them online, but you can use those to hang your fruit. They're mesh bags. We put our garlic in there to store it. Store them in the root cellar. We have a big root cellar, and try to keep from stepping on all of these fellas right here. So, and these watermelons right here we harvested that one over there, and even though the curlicues were dried up, indicating the melons were ready, that melon was not ready. We should have left that melon on there, and we will. Well, the rest of these, we'll keep putting the little mesh bags on there, and see, they say the reason they're shaped like that is because they didn't get fully pollinated. I don't think it's true. I think it's this strain right here. It's, like I said, it's Indiana. They call them Indiana stripes, I think is what it was. And really, that's why you want to keep a journal, because you can go back and look. You write it what you planted, what it says in there, and you can even staple the seeds to the pages. And then you write, but wow, we have got the bees today. Write down what it was, and if you didn't have good luck with that particular strain, move on. Right? So I wished I never would have planted these. I thought, oh, Indiana stripes, I like those. No. I'm thinking that if there's a seed manufacturer here in California, especially Northern California, you know, just down in the Sacramento Valley is close enough. And I do believe that from now on, that's what I'll be doing, is I'm not getting production out of this garden that I should be getting. You know, anyways, anyhow, yeah, we're gonna have to get out here and I know, stir the bees up when I walk through there. Anyways, we'll avoid stepping on the, yeah, you really don't want to step on them vines because all them vines are produced. Now, I know people that have, look at here, that guy's ready. I know people that have treated those vines, watermelons and cantaloupe vines, just like you treat the tomato vines, and that they, I laid my other, that they cut all the suckers. They want to just have their fruit on the main stem. They say they get bigger fruit, and I believe them. I was not willing to do that this year, so yeah. These cantaloupes, Tuscan, I think they're called Tuscan, these with the stripes on them. These right here are Tuscan. The ones up there are garden, and once again, Garden Sweet. I don't know, that guy right there might be ready. So, you know, you don't want them, so you just, yeah, see, it's not coming off, it's not ready. So you just take your thumb and you push on that stem, and see, I need to push on that stem like this, and if it slips off, it smells like cantaloupe. Oh, it did, look at there, it just slipped right off. That guy's ready. So is this one. So I got two. My gosh, did I ever get a bunch this morning? All right, but I'd rather have plenty and be able to give it away and not enough. No. There's a wire that keeps getting me when I walk by here. That wire, I'm gonna bend that wire over. It just scratched my arm. I haven't looked, but I bet I'm bleeding. Anyways, I gotta go in the house and make myself some breakfast. Make my wife some breakfast and some coffee. We had friends over. Oh, by the way, Margie, if you're watching this, I hope you are. Thank you so much for coming and staying with Pam yesterday and doing all that you do, and the dishes and everything, giving Pam, giving her some meals, and that is really, truly, I truly appreciate it. And thank you. We love you for that. You're a really decent person, and God bless you, and God continue to bless you. Okay, well, here we are at the end of our video. I do got to do some watering this morning. I got to water my potatoes yet, and then I have to water my, look, I went over 33 minutes. I went over 30, and then I got to water my acorn squash because they're not getting enough water. All right, thank you. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching.